What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, we're gonna talk about why is it very important to choose business-friendly states to do your business in. And of course, this is a no-brainer, and here's a breakdown of what's going on. So, majority of people do not understand that within America, the United States, within, whatever, how many states we have, 51, 50, whatever it is, within all these states, we are competing against each other. Yes. That's how it works. Like it or not, if you look at it, in more of the terms of business sense, within all these states, they're all competing against each other. They are all competing against each other for us as a consumer and a business owner. The reason why is the more people we have in their state, the more revenue they will generate. But at the same time, they have to incentivize us to come to them. Meaning is, if they don't provide enough benefits, they don't provide enough rules and regulations that incentivize, keep us safe, and at the same time do not hinder us along the way, then it causes people to go elsewhere. And a lot of people believe that United States taxes are, extremely high. In reality, it's one of the cheapest around the whole entire world, especially for a first world country. You can actually look that up. So taxes itself can make or break a business. And here I'm gonna break down some type of states that majority of people are moving to. As you can know, Texas is right now the #1 place as for most companies. For example, Elon Musk, John Rogan, a lot of big tech companies like Oracle, Charles Schwab are moving around that area from Texas, Tennessee, around, within those areas because they're more business friendly. And you got to understand, it's not like, they want to move because California has most of the benefits because of the weather, but, they're starting to lack it now. It's because, think about it, in a business, you got to hire employees. You got to deal with people coming to attack your business for every little single thing as possible because that's how it works in America. And second of all, rules and regulations. How much power they give you to come after you as a company. Because when they come after you, yes, rules and regulations protect the consumer in a way. There's got to be a fine balance. You cannot go one side too much to the left or one side too much to the right. Any other way can, have caused catastrophic failure. As you've seen before, you lean too much on one side, something's got to give. Got to find somewhere in the middle, which is majority of the time these businesses have to leave because political parties, as you see, they sway so much on one side. You never find a fine balance. But if you find a fine balance, then you have people flocking into you. And you gotta look at these big tech companies and other type of small startups. It's really hard for them because you gotta be competing against a lot of other people. You gotta be competing against employees, so skilled workers. Skilled workers, you gotta pay for whatever, their living expenses. So for example, where I live in California, the living expenses here is outrageously expensive. Forget about the income tax, even it's one of the highest in all the states. You also have sales tax, which is extremely high, and also property tax too. People say it's really low. Think again, it's actually pretty high because you add everything up together, it's still high because property tax is low here until you get a house that's worth over $1 million for a cardboard box, right? That, 0.72% it's gotta look like 72% afterwards when your bill comes in. Also, gasoline, really expensive. Electricity, you think it's cheap? Ain't that cheap here. Some reason, it's expensive. And it's the way the rules and regulations work here. It's not really incentivizing. And also, besides the skilled people, you gotta look at the cost of living and the standard of quality of living. If they're living here for people moving in and see it doesn't fit their standards, for example, high crime rate, maybe there's a lot of, bums, hanging around, homelessness, just in general, something just really negative impact for a community. Businesses will start to leave because they don't want to deal with it. And they don't want to have, anyone coming harassing them or attacking their business, causing, problems because they got so much on their plate to deal with. And you look at more business-friendly states, such as, Nevada, great example. But a lot of companies don't move there is because companies also, they look for a couple major things. First, skilled workers, that's majority. Number two, whether or not the pay that they incentivize and give them is enough to sustain their daily needs. Because, as those people are employees, they are not business owners. They do not get the decision on whether or not. But if they do become a business owner, they have a decision to do what they want, how they operate their business. And I find it kind of ironic that most companies like water. If you realize that, Apple, Microsoft, Google, big tech corporations, even Oracle and Charles Schwab, the stock companies, even a newer stock exchange, guess what? They're all near water. So it's really hard for those type of companies who like to be right that specific type of environment, move to somewhere like Nevada. Even Nevada offers like one of the best incentives. Like I believe in their record, they're probably within the top 10 most business-friendly states. With like 0% income tax, property tax is extremely low, housing is freaking huge, crime rate, property theft and stuff. It's crime within a niche of an area, but at the same time, it's still a lot safer than most places. And also, the life in there and the culture there, it's still growing, but it's not to the point where it's able to incentivize major companies to move over there. Because, as I mentioned earlier, it has multiple factors there. Besides skilled workers, you have also the climate and the culture there. So the climate there is obviously like, compared to Texas, one's like extreme desert where it's super cold, super hot. The other one's more like, humid. They all have their, plus ups and downs. And whether they're able to give out whatever they want to, sacrifice in their business, they will basically move whatever it takes as necessary. And thanks to the current pandemic, it now gives them the opportunity to accelerate this trending growth where business now forget about having brick and mortar stores. Why, have employees come to workplace, you're providing them food and electricity. You gotta deal with people, buy clothing, gasoline car, you gotta wait for them to get to work and stuff when you can have them all stay at home and work remotely. And now this is a big time for, tech corporations and other software developers to make software more securely and private to work for those type of businesses because it'll be a lot cheaper at the end. It gives employees the opportunity to work from their home and work from somewhere else besides the workplace. Basically gives them more flexibility. That's why I see a lot of businesses moving out to different parts of the states is because of this reason. Thanks to the pandemic, you just forcing them to happen all at once to make more flexible decisions. Because at the end, a business is competing with other places. You have other people in the market too. You gotta put food on the table, right? Because if you choke a business, who you're choking? Your own population, because the employee people. You can raise the minimum wage, but at the same time, employees, there's so much the business owner can do. They can take, money off their salary, but they're the one who started a business. So what, you want the government to steal from the business? I don't know how that's gonna work because if you take from them, it literally blows away their incentivized for them to even start in the first place. That's how it works because you can call them business owners greedy, but the problem is they created the work. They're the one who providing the effort to start up their business, to take all the risk, employ the people, look for the people, make sure this operation works. The employee is there to sustain it. That's what it is. This is why I always suggest if you want to be an employee, great. That's sustain that, simple way of life. But when reality hits, when they give you that card and let you go, or maybe the business is failing, or they don't want you anymore, they fire you, you have no opportunity to, fight it back because you are an employee at the end. And at the end, business-friendly states really dictate, such as, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, even in Colorado. More people in California are moving out. And I really hope the state itself, for now, it's still going downhill. Yeah, you have, other investors coming in from out of the water, out of seas right now. It's pretty slow. But at the end, businesses, they have to basically give them incentivized. You cannot be taking away too much from them. If you start basically giving out rules and regulations, instead of helping the consumer and pretending into helping the consumer, instead of giving them, giving them reasons why they should, stay with them, you're just pushing them away. Because at the end, businesses is what help consumers grow, give them more choice and opportunity. If you destroy a business, you destroy a line of employees. If you destroy that line of employees, it'll harm the consumer, because the consumer at the end will have to find other methods to purchase whatever goods and services they want. And second of all, it'll become more expensive because if you have less companies competing, usually people can, saturate, instead of saturating the prices, they can set the prices they want. For example, like gasoline in California. So just like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time on my channel. Peace.